Stepped out, but it didn't stop him from bagging the foxhole shot for the 4th time this season. His main rival, Jorge Prado, was right there behind him. Paul Jonas was in there in 4th place behind the 91 of Jeremy Seewer. And then Tim Geiser was buried, so too was Jeffrey Hurlings. But leading the way, this was Geiser trying to go from 8th to 7th as he was closing in on Maxime Renault. He tipped over from 8th, eventually came home in 10th place. Jeffrey Hurlings, who had a little bit of damage from contact with Geiser earlier on in the race, he then started to find his rhythm, found his way past Alvin Osland. That put him up a position into, what, 10th or 11th place? Then Prado capitalised on this mistake from Romain Febvre. He'd already made a mistake earlier, tried to get the hammer down, but paid the price. Picked himself up in 2nd and stayed there as Koldenhoff went by Mitch Evans. Evans then on the final lap made a mistake, and that allowed Hurlings to find a way through into 8th place. Maxime Renault thought he could jump long past Jari Haavisto, but ran out of room, landed in the rut, tipped over. And then this was Koldenhoff going by Fernandez. This was about 3 laps to go to get him into 5th place. Hard charge through the field, and Albi Ferrato on Mitch Evans. That put him up on his way to 7th ahead of Hurlings, but it was Jorge Prado with his 12th race win of the season from Febvre, Seewer, Jonas and Koldenhoff. Well, as the rain continues to fall here, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid. I'm not sure if she found an umbrella or not. We'll give her a sponsor, Frizzies. But the JK Racing Yamaha rider, Kevin Brumman, was her victim.
We're almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2, but let's catch up with Kevin Brumman. Kevin, that first race, that was quite a difficult one for you. You weren't feeling out there, were you?
Yeah, I had a bad start. Tried to make some position up, made a couple of mistakes, lost again. Then, unfortunately, I had a big crash a few minutes before the end, which had to take me out because yesterday I had a little crash, a little incident. But now it's pouring down rain. It's going to be a difficult race for everyone. And I just tried to make the best out of it, make it better than the first race.
I mean, like you mentioned, the rain is coming down pretty hard now. This racetrack's been changing all weekend with the weather conditions. How's it shaping up with this amount of rain?
Now it's going to be slippery, muddy, and it's just survival mode again because there are deep ruts and everything. So we will see, try to finish the race and come out with a good position.
Best of luck. Thank you, Kevin. Good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 2.
Kevin Brumman there, just recalling his Race 1. Right, here's how the top 5 look after MXGP Race 1. Jorge Prado, who arrived here 98 points clear of Romain Febvre. With the qualifying race and Race 1, he's now 105 points clear of the Kawasaki man, with Jeremy Seewer 3rd, 72 behind the Frenchman. Glenn Koldenhoff is up to 4th. He's 37 behind Seewer. And then we've got Ruben Fernandez next, 33 behind the Hoff. What a day. They should be used to it up this part of the world, though. We are not as north as we could be, but not the way we wanted the summer to welcome us here. Best seat in the house, if you don't mind getting wet up there on top of the Monster Energy rig. Take a look at how the riders line up, though, ahead of MXGP Race 2. Exactly the same as they did for the first race, and it was Jorge Prado who won the Ram qualifying race on Saturday. His 10th pole position of the season from Tim Geiser and Jeremy Seewer. Jeffrey Hurlings and Romain Febvre. Of course, difference in points there between Prado and Febvre. Calvin Villanoren, Ruben Fernandez, Valentin Guillot, Albi Ferrato, Benoit Paturel, who lost his front brake with a collision with a rider in Race 1, which is why he didn't finish. And Glenn Koldenhoff picking up 11th in the qualifying race ahead of his teammate Maxime Renault. Then we've got PJ, Paul Jonas, Cornelius Tondel, Alvin Osland, the 2 JWR Honda riders lining up together, 14th and 15th. Then we've got Tom Cock, Jari Haavisto, Mitch Evans, Ben Watson, and the rest.
Tänk om det är så här, I cannot start on the green.
Just moments away from MXGP Race 2 here, the 15th round of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Sweden at Uddevalla. Remember, it's the 25th running of this Grand Prix here. Jorge Prado, your winner from Race 1, has never stood on the top step here. He was victorious in Race 1. He won his World Championship in 2019 in MX2 here for the second time. Can he turn things around and make it to the top step? Jeremy Seewer is a two-time winner around this Grand Prix venue in the past. The third in Race 1. Can he do it here today and make it 3 wins in Uddevalla? Laengenfelder has also won a Grand Prix here in the past. Can the Kawasaki rider overturn what happened in Race 1 and take the challenge back to Jorge Prado? And Jeffrey Herlings, another two-time winner here, along with Tim Geiser, struggling to get off the starts. We saw that in the close-up replays in the qualifying race and the race today. And he's just leaving himself with a little bit of work to do. So he just needs to focus on that and see if he can get there. But these conditions now in Race 2, going to be much of a leveler for these riders. As we said earlier on in the day, bravery may be rewarded, but you cross that line and you will get punished. Ruben Fernandez will be hoping for better than 6th place, and Tim Geiser, who had a bit of a nightmare time, he was up to 8th, down to 13th, and then back up to 10th by the time the checkered flag fell. Not where Geiser is used to battling. Likewise for Herlings. Herlings finishing 8th in Race 1. Geiser was 10th. That's the view down from behind Jorge Prado and Jeremy Seewer. It's a heavy start straight. Still a lot of water left over because it's a shale type surface here on top. Rocky underneath, shale on top. Visibility going to be a nightmare. Goggles going to be a nightmare. I'm guessing we're going to see riders utilising the goggle lane at some point during the race, if need be. Certainly if this rain continues to fall. And for those riders using only laminate tear-offs, it's going to be a constant battle for visibility. Green flag down there. The fly racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. The MXGP of Sweden here in Uddevalla. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who's it going to be that grabs that foxhole shot? Race 1, it was Laengenfelder for the 4th time this year. Can he get across the stripe when he needs it most in Race 2? Nobody spinning up on the skid plate. Jeremy Seewer charging down into the first turn. 11 foxhole shots for the Swiss Smurf, who leads Maxime Renault. A Yamaha 1-2. Febvre 3rd, looking to sneak into 2nd position. And he closes down the door on Maxime Renault. Prado in 4th place. Oh, Herlings in 4th, then Prado, then Geiser. Difficult to see from outer space as they went through turn 3. Renault there in 3rd, Herlings 4, gets a better start. Geiser down the inside of Prado, taking the Spaniard. Is this going to be one of those problematic races for the number 61, who will not want to risk any kind of problems here in these conditions? He's got Ferrato behind him as well. So Geiser on the charge, getting himself into 5th. All the while, problems there for Seewer on the exit of the turn. Keeps Febvre behind him, only just. Very slick on the landing there, where it's rained on a dry surface. And Seewer, the guinea pig, in these conditions. Remember, he was 3rd in Race 1. Febvre was 2nd in Race 1. He would win by a point if he would stay there in front of Febvre. He just buries it, though, almost gets himself unseated. Febvre just taking a little time to have a sort out with the goggles out of that long turn. There's Prado coming into land. He's got the guy in yellow behind him, Albi Ferrato. Getting him over the line, though. Seewer and Febvre. Maxime Renault 3rd. Back from injury this weekend, remember. He's been missing since Spain with a foot injury. Herlings 4, Geiser 5. That's those two going out of short. Oh, and putting the squeeze down there past pit lane. Was that Jonas on Fernandez? I think it was. So Jonas 8th, Fernandez 9th. Just behind Albi Ferrato. Anything to get a track position advantage. Looking down the order here, 11th for Koldenhoff, Valandren 13, Bogus 14, Pacharel 15, Evans down in 17th place. And then Tondel. Mitch Evans in for goggles, not using the goggle lane, but Jari Avisto sneaking. Right, there's Koldenhoff, so Havisto looking to find his way by, but Koldenhoff goes by instead, and that's for 10th place for the Hoff. Struggling, he's got tear-offs on the top of the roll-offs. Oh, Lupino is in. Turning into one of those seasons for the MRT beta rider. Right, here's Koldenhoff with tear-offs flapping on the side of those goggles. Just needs to grab that. There you go. Distraction over with. Oh, and Alvin Gerhardsson, the number 52, trying to reposition the chain look. So he'll drop out of the points. Here's Prado, he's taken a couple of laps just to steady himself. He's got Geiser ahead of him. So Prado 6th. Still going to be on the podium where he is, though. But these conditions here, Reyes looks like it's abated ever so slightly. Oh, heavy landing there, though, for the 61. Here's Herlings. Still there in 4th. He's about 2.5 seconds behind Maxime Renault. These kind of conditions, you know, might be that the first half of the race will just see these riders just hanging back just to keep their visibility intact until later in the race. Foxhole shot, the 61 and the 91 side by side, but it was a better jump for the Monstrenis Yamaha rider. 11 foxhole shots now for Siwa. One more than Prado, who was tucked to the inside there in 4th. Look, Renault ran the outside, Fevre 3rd, one-handed tear-off pull as well in all that mud for the number 3. Fevre closing back in on Siwa here, though. Despite Siwa putting in the fastest lap by 3/10, and he's legging his way around there, he's in trouble. We saw that on the opening lap. Both these riders not afraid of these conditions. Fevre probably loves them more than Siwa, to be fair, though. They got about 3.5 seconds over Maxime Renault. Great welcome return for the former MX2 world champion. And these kind of conditions slowing things down ever so slightly. Here's Ferrato, the 303 on the SM Action USA battery KTM. He is in 7th. He's got Prado here just ahead of him. Was good in race 1 as well. Ferrato came from about 13th, 14th place, came back to 7th position. What are his mud riding skills like as he continues to chase down the 61 of Prado? Heavy, that's going to get heavier through there as well, where they re-emerge back onto the start straight. Very difficult first turn in these conditions as well, because you're a 180 left, it's falling away, the camber falling away to the right as well. You're kind of going through there, and all of a sudden it's like, where is that connection with the berm? Oh, there it is. Then you have that confidence again, just to get the turn done. But with 23 minutes plus 2 laps to go, all eyes on this battle at the head of the field. But between Jeremy Siwa and Romain Fevre, these two separated by 1.2 seconds. Still a long way to go in this second MXGP race. couple of little mistakes in that previous right-hander there for Romain Febvre. That's allowed Jeremy Seewer to escape momentarily. Will he just take a bit of a breather here at the moment? Again, going back to the goggles scenario, just maintain those goggles, keep that visibility intact. So Renault third, Hurlings 4, Geiser 5, Prado 6, Verato 7, Fernandez 8, Jonas 9, and Koldenhoff 10. Mitch Evans came in for goggles earlier. He's now in 18th place. And then Mitch Evans throwing away the goggles. Well, that was a good goggle change, Mitch. Rider down as Evans goes by. So not sure whether it was fogging inside the lens or whether moisture has got behind the roll-off film, if it was roll-offs, or the tear-off film. But you know when you've got problems. Anyway, he may come in for more. There's no limit as to how many goggle changes you can do in the race. But the Kawasaki rider here, Mitch Evans, number 43. You know what, let's keep our camera trained on him, shall we, for a while, just in case he does come in for freshies. Dropping down towards the line here. And Valana and Bogas have gone through on Havisto, so Havisto down to 13th place. Is he going to come in again, yes or no? No, he goes right by. Probably would have got the signal, though. But you know what? 20. Oh, he's, you know what? There's the goggle lane, there's the entry. This time, just have a chat. And then out onto the straight there. So Evans would have been in 17th place, but did Watson go through? It's Seewer, Febvre, they're 2.8 seconds apart. Renault third, Hurlings fourth, Geiser, 3 world champions, in fact 4 world champions, second, third, fourth. Just over 20 minutes plus 2 laps to go. MXGP race 2 here. Jeremy Seewer leads. 2015 world champion Romain Febvre, 2021 MX2 world champion Maxime Renault, Jeffrey Hurlings and Tim Geiser, 2 5-time world champions and 2-time champion Jorge Prado. Here's Jeffrey Hurlings. He is still there in that 4th place. Still trying to keep Maxime Renault in his sights. We just saw him dropping the other side of the ram jump there. There's Geiser in the background. And then Prado. Still plenty of time left to run in this second MXGP race. Jorge Prado knows he doesn't need to take risks in these kind of conditions, just needs to keep tabs on where his nearest challenger is, Romain Febvre. If you were to put the flag out now, guess what? It would end all square as it was at the start of the weekend. Prado with a 98-point advantage over Romain Febvre. Nothing gained, nothing lost. 4 rounds to go, he'll take that. Just needs to keep it upright on 2 wheels. You can see he was hesitant in the early lap of the race, just trying to stay out of trouble. Doesn't want to get caught in any unforeseen circumstances. Somebody runs it down the inside of you, you just clip the back end of somebody, then you've got dirty hands, gloves, handlebar grips. Then you really are on a hiding for nothing then. But Evans' pit stop did cost him because he's out of the top 20 now. Watson up to 17th, Carlson 18, Guillaume 19th, Brumman 20th. Your final point scorer as it looks right now. But Romain Febvre, just easy on the gas, his riding style in these conditions. Helping him no end, because he knows how to use the gears, and bit of a panic rev there though. But he knows how to use the gears and just ease that throttle. Doesn't mind the back end coming around on him every now and again and just lighting up. Hurlings with his fastest lap last time around, a 2:02.7. Likewise for Prado and Ferrato. They were in the 2:03s though. Prato just in the back there, 2.5 seconds behind Prado as we pick up Tim Geiser, Team HRC and Honda. There's Jonas, 41 on the jump now. He's got Koldenhoff behind him. These two 9th and 10th at the moment. This is going to be good enough for 5th overall for PJ. Koldenhoff, though, will be 10th overall, despite 5th in race 1. Left himself with a lot of work to do. Jonas, no goggles. A little bit more paying attention in sector 3 for Koldenhoff. Oh, back end lighting up through the exit of turn 1 there for Jonas, the standing construct Honda rider. Where's his teammate, Brian Bogus? He's in 12th place at the moment. Another rider making his return from injury, Paul Jonas. Got Koldenhoff behind him, though. Koldenhoff 2:08.0, 2:09.2 for Jonas. So not a lot in it between those two. But 16.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Circuit now battered with heavy rain for the last 2 weeks. Few dry days on the run-up to the Grand Prix. Heavy rain overnight. Left the track in something of a sorry state, but it gradually started to dry out, even though there were only 1 or 2 lines in the first MX2 and MXGP races. But with the big downpour that we had towards the end of MX2, race 2, and continued rainfall here, although a lot easier now. Circuit conditions a little bit tricky. You have to be mindful. You have to read the track well. Jonas, while he's not directly on the rear wheel of Ruben Fernandez ahead of him, won't be getting roosted, but as soon as he starts to get close, every opportunity that he does get close, and then he's just in touching distance, he might get the odd roost up in the face there off that rear wheel of the HRC man ahead of him. Next Grand Prix, Arnhem in the Netherlands. A week from now, that'll be music to the ears of Glenn Koldenhoff. Home race for him, quite literally, just as Os was a couple of years ago. Yeah, backmarker even trying to avoid the roost there as Koldenhoff goes through. Concentration on Jonas's face there as he gets to the end of pit lane. He doesn't have goggles, Koldenhoff does, which means he can get closer to the rear wheel of the Latvian. Verlanderen back in 11th place. 4 seconds behind these two. And he's got about 3 seconds over Bogus. Here's Prado. Goggles still intact. Important that. And Hurling's being caught by Geiser ever so slightly. Just over 14 minutes to go. Prado continues to lead the championship. Going to have a healthy margin still, just as he did coming into this round here in Sweden. 98 points. That's what it's going to be when he leaves here as well. He's going to have the biggest smile on his face, isn't he, the Red Bull Gas rider? Just turning out to be his year at the moment. Right, Geiser and Hurlings looking like they're just upping their tempo ever so slightly. Be a bit one-upmanship between these two. Hurlings will be thinking, well, I can show that I can still beat Tim Geiser, and Geiser will be looking at, well, you know, I came from behind and passed Jeffrey Hurlings. Little feather in the cap, but a little untidy there for the 5-time champ Geiser. Hurlings chasing his front wheel through that first turn. Not much happening here, though. These deep, muddy conditions just causing 1 or 2 problems. A little bit offline there, but managed to keep it in the line, Jorge Prado. We were hoping that race 2 was going to be a little bit more eventful with the work they did in the break between race 1 and MX2 race 2. But with this downpour of rain again, it's definitely thrown a spanner in the works. But Seewer continues to lead. He's almost 3 seconds clear of Fevre now, with 12.5 plus 2 to go. We just saw Albi Ferrato closing in on Prado a moment ago. He's about 1.5 seconds behind the championship leader. Jeremy Seewer, though, now 3.7 seconds clear of Romain Fevre as he continues to lead MXGP race 2. Pulled his 11th foxhole shot of the season. And this will be good enough for a Grand Prix victory as well for him, if he can stay where he is. Looking good at the moment, though. Almost 4 seconds clear now. Just needs to keep his mind free of any distractions. Nicely up on the pegs through there, though. Got to be careful when you jump up there, not to cross-rut the front wheel. Very easy to do that, just to misjudge that. But never been bothered so far this race. The Smurf. Back end lighting up. That just tells you how tricky the racetrack is as well. Even with a 4-second advantage, you think you've got everything in check, and then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, back end lights up. Both feet off, a little bit Speedway-esque. Latvian Grand Prix has just happened last night, Speedway. Wouldn't have been out of place there, Jezza. You can hear how low the revs are as well. These bikes just don't want to rev these things, don't want to get too much wheel spin. Ten and a half minutes plus 2. We're on lap 9, MXGP race 2 in Sweden, the MXGP of Sweden at Uddevalla. Jeremy Seewer now 4.2 seconds clear of Romain Fevre. The Kawasaki rider just coming into view there in the background here on the number 3 Kawasaki. Things stay as they are. He will leave here 98 points behind Jorge Prado, just as he did on the way in to this Grand Prix in Sweden. Definitely feeling a little bit frustrated now is the number 3. Start of the first race, I asked the question, is time running out for him? And the answer to that, with a 98-point deficit to make up, still remains yes, but while you've still got 240 points on the table after this weekend, anything can happen. Motocross is unpredictable. He'll believe that while there are still points on the table, while there's still a chance, and he'll believe that to be the case. But it's getting to the point now where he's definitely going to be running out of time, because at some point you've got to say, right, 120 points, 100 points, and you know, it becomes mathematically impossible. But when is that moment? When does that point come? Tim Geiser here in red. Team HRC still has Hurlings just ahead of him. There's Prado. He is under attack here from Albi Ferrato. That'll take the lead down to 97 points if Prado gets passed by Ferrato. Not sure he'll resist any challenge if the big man comes up the inside of him. But he'll just keep on doing what he's doing. He'll hold track position. There is still a definitive drier line. Not a dry line, but one that's less precarious. Oh, Geiser's back end swapping there. He's lost some ground there in the last couple of corners because Prado all over the back of him now. Hurlings at the top of the hill, breaking free. About a second and a half, 2.8 seconds now, that gap. So Prado may use that to his advantage. Because if he can find his way past Geiser, it'll be another point to the good. Takes it back out to 99-ish. Geiser responding well to the mistake. Right, Koldenhoff is now up into 9th place. Spent a long time following Paul Jonas. Jonas now down in 10th place. Here's how he did it. Couple of corners from the flag, down the inside, drag race towards the ram jump. And he had the advantage as well at the end of the straight. And of course, he's not going to be able to stick onto the rear wheel of him as well because he's got no goggles, Paul Jonas. Koldenhoff now, up into 9th. Seewer now almost home and dry, 5.5 seconds clear. Febvre still there second. Renault has been fantastic in third. Here he is, monster in his Yamaha rider, 9.59. Herlings bearing down on him though, on the number 84 Red Bull KTM. Can Herlings get himself a top 3 finish here? What will that do to his? Well, it won't affect the podium situation. It'll just give him another couple of points. He'll be on 33. But Maxime Renault, steady in race 1, couple of mistakes. He was in 7th, he fell, came back down in 13th position. But 3rd here in race 2, that'll boost his confidence, first race back. Hopefully the sand a week's time from now at Arnhem in the Netherlands will be a little kinder to us weather-wise. You watch, it'll be absolutely scorchio, 38 degrees or something, and deep, brutal conditions. Stranger things have happened. Watson being demoted to 20th, Guillaume going through in 19th place. How much of this can, was in 20th. Ben Watson pushing that MRT beta back then. Disappointing Grand Prix for him. Didn't score in, 19th in race 1, no points in race 2. Herlings looking across. Wants to see how far Seewer and Febvre are ahead of him. Well, the answer is about 30 seconds. 28 to be exact. They still believe down there in pit lane. Maxime Renault can hold his nerve here. I'm sure he can. Doesn't mind the odd little bit of mud. But he's just coming unstuck here, using that same line. Maybe just a little bit tentative. Doesn't want to try any lines this late on in the race. Any new lines, I should say. Meanwhile, Seewer's gap now out to 11 seconds almost over Romain Febvre. Renault 16 seconds behind his fellow Frenchman here in 3rd place. The rider in black with the yellow numbers. Herlings not letting him off the hook. A moment there though for Renault. Just over jumped, landed in a bit of a hole. Handlebars snatched out of his hands. Be a warning sign for him. Watch this here. Comes into land here, and then just lost the front. Probably nothing in it, but looked worse than it was. Geiser is closing in as well, once more in that 5th position. 3rd rider in shot now. Prado doesn't need to push onto these guys. He'll be happy to pick up that 6th place. Be mindful of the fact that Ferrato is behind him, but it looks like he's broken free from the Italian. There he is, bottom right corner of the screen in yellow. There's Febvre across the top of the screen. But Renault leading up this quartet of riders here in 3rd, with Herlings, Geiser and Prado 4th, 5th and 6th. Rain finally deciding to disappear. That inside-outside combination obviously not working now. Everybody pretty much going inside through the first part. It was very, very deep on the exit if you went outside through the chicane at the end of the pit lane area in race 1. Things finally brightening up outside. Better late than never, I guess, but 2.5 minutes plus 2 to go. All of these riders that are racers, they like to make passes, they like to move forward. Just getting frustrated at the inability to be able to do so. Track conditions playing their part in that, of course. At what point does Herlings decide to say, right, got to go for broke here? Valentin Guillot getting lap there in 19th position. Just up on the pegs in cruise mode, just trying to see this one out. Remember, he's coming in nursing what was a broken shoulder blade. Oh, Renault almost comes to grief there when he came into land. Somehow manages to stay ahead of Jeffrey Herlings. Good test of Renault's character, this first race back since Spain. Watch this here. Takes a look over his shoulder, but then there, look, just a little bit offline. Looks worse than it was from the overhead. They've been out since round 6 in Spain. Prado, you know. I wonder if there's going to be a last. We've got 3 laps to go, and Jorge Prado, 61, back at this shot here, in that 6th position. I would not be surprised if he says, you know what, 2 or 3 laps to go. Let's see if I can pick off Geiser, see if I can go after Herlings, just to really rub salt in the wounds of Laengenfelder, because at the moment that gap remains at 98 points. But all of a sudden, Jorge Prado is looking like saying, you know what, I will attack Tim Geiser and I will attack Jeffrey Herlings. He sat there, bided his time, kept his goggles clean, and he's putting himself in a position where he can just pick off more points and take the championship lead to more than 100 points. He goes wide, cuts back to the inside. He's alongside Geiser here. Got a back marker in his line of sight, though. Max Spies, who can't do anything, can't get out of the rut. And in the end, it's Prado who has to get out of there earlier. Well, he's shown that he has the pace of Geiser. I think Geiser knows that as well, and I think he's got a bit of a lick on here. And with Herlings going wide and manoeuvres like this, round the outside, you give someone like Prado half a chance to have a look up the inside. Well, he'll take it with both hands, won't he? Two-lap board, getting readied. Jeremy Seewer here, uphill. Two-lap board goes out to his right. Been a fantastic display this from Jeremy Seewer on the Montrenesi Yamaha. Laengenfelder, no answer for him on that Kawasaki. The Kawasaki racing team, MXGP. Maxime Renault, though, still has his hands full. Bottom of the hill, turning left, up towards the finish line now. Jeffrey Herlings, Tim Geiser, and Jorge Prado. Prado, the one looking the most menacing here. Or he was a lap ago, maybe. He's decided, no, we'll sack that challenge off. Because you can see he's already lost ground to Tim Geiser, but it looked like he could have made a challenge a lap ago. Herlings there jumping long, almost coming to grief in that left-hander as well. Going back to what I said earlier, got to get those things absolutely perfect, because if you land with your front wheel the wrong side, that can end in tears. Still not able to find a way through on Maxime Renault. It's been a very processional race, this MXGP race 2 in the end. Track conditions not helping, rain not helping. Track drying out, just 1 or 2 lines, mostly riders on the same line. And it has been. You watch the lap chart, if you look at the lap chart later online, there won't be too many passes up or down the leaderboard. Seewer won't mind about that though, as he prepares to take the one lap board. One lap to go for Jeremy Seewer. 2:06 last time around. Fevra 5.7 seconds further back now. There he is through turn one, just under the foxhole shot line. This battle, well, I wouldn't call it a battle now, actually. This freight train that's been there from the very first lap. Renault, Hurlings, Geiser, Prado and Ferrato continues. But Prado looking interested once more. He's got himself back onto the rear wheel of Geiser. We saw him have a sneaky look down into turn 4, between turn 4 and turn 5 a couple of laps ago before Max Spies just kind of inadvertently intervened. He thought he was off the race line. And Jorge Prado again going after it. Hurlings offline again. A mistake there for the Bullet. 2 laps in a row. The last time, though, wasn't that bad, but this one, though, almost caught him out. And dare I say it, we almost had a pass. Prado looking to go around Geiser, but can only look up at the 5-time champ as he takes off on the Monster Energy jump. But this is 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th on the final lap. Geiser a little bit out of shape, wrestling that Honda of his, brings it back into line, brings it back under control. Almost lost that 5th position. Prado just coming into land, just in the background there. Any effort that he was going to challenge. But Jeremy Seewer downhill for the final time. He'll cross the line. He wins race 2. He wins for the 3rd time in Sweden. His 18th career race win. And his 12th Grand Prix victory. Romain Fevra, 2nd. That'll be 2nd overall. Renault will be 3rd, Hurlings 4, Geiser 5, but Prado, who will cross the line in 6th position, will be 3rd overall in the Grand Prix based on his combined scores here this weekend. Everybody down there at Monster Energy Yamaha absolutely beaming with delight there as Jeremy Seewer takes his 2nd Grand Prix victory of the season. Three wins now here in Sweden for Jeremy Seewer. Definitely making this place his own in recent years. The Smurf. But Jeremy Seewer, who was a winner here in 2017 in MX2. Last year in MXGP, back-to-back wins here in Sweden for the number 91. And we wait for him to make his way to the winner's enclosure. There's Ruben Fernandez. He crossed the line in 8th place. Koldenhoff 9, Jonas 10, Verlandren 11, Bogus 12. And we wait for Tom Cock, Benoit Patrel, Alvin Osland on the JWR Honda, Jere Avisto, Mitch Evans, Max Spies, Valentin Guillot, and Albin Gerhardsen. Here's Jezza with Lalo.
Jeremy Seewer, congratulations. 2nd overall of the season under very difficult changing conditions constantly all day. You seem to really like it here in Uddevalla.
Yeah, you know, the last few weeks have been good. I just ended up 4th many GPs with a possibility to win. But today, you know, it pays off. Winning a GP back-to-back. I mean, I won here last year, win here this year in those conditions because there's only one line and the start is so crucial and everybody knows that. So we all focus only on that, you know. But getting a whole shot in the second motor was key, and I made it happen, and super happy. And yeah, 4 more GPs to go, and yeah, I'm feeling good.
Great job, thank you.
Louis Foster's in there to congratulate his rider, Jeremy Seewer. Back-to-back wins here in Sweden. 3-time winner now in Uddevalla. And he does it with a 3rd and a 1st here this weekend. Made no mistake, once he got that foxhole shot for the 11th time, it was pretty much plain sailing from there. He edges out Laengenfelder by a point to win the Swedish Grand Prix.
Till glödnivå. Ja, verkligen. Någon munpuss.
And the sun comes out right at the wrong time.
Ja, kanske. Ska vi prova?
Give you the official results then as we have them.
Inte om du inte tjatar.
Jeremy Seewer, Monster Energy Yamaha, wins race 2 from Kawasaki Racing Team. Laengenfelder and Maxime Renault. Jeffrey Hurling's Red Bull KTM 4th, and then Tim Geiser for Team HRC ahead of Prado on the Red Bull Gas, and then Ferrato, Fernandez, Koldenoff, Jonas for Landren. And then Brian Bogus, Tom Cock, Benoit Paturel, Alvin Osland, Jerry Avisto, Mitch Evans, Max Spies, Valentin Guillot, Albin Gerhardsen. The overall Grand Prix belongs to Jeremy Seewer, a 3rd and a 1st, edging out Laengenfelder by a point, who had 2 second-place finishes, and Jorge Prado on the box, 3rd overall, with a win and a 6th. Hurlings and Jonas ran out the top 5. What a fantastic result for Jonas. Back from injury. Likewise, Maxime Renault, 6th overall on his return back as well. The championship, Jorge Prado arrived here 98 points clear of Laengenfelder. He leaves here 98 points still intact. Fevre now running out of time, but there are still a lot of points up for grabs. Seewer 3rd, no change in the top 8 positions, with Koldenoff and Fernandez rounding out the top 5. Maxime Renault gains a couple of points, but that's just paperwork. He was in this championship to challenge for a world championship. No change at the top of the manufacturer standings either. Gas still on top there, edging out Yamaha. Narrow margin between those two. Kawasaki still 3rd, and the rest, as you saw there on screen a moment ago. Packing up, ready for Holland already. Take a look at the whole shot, shall we? The foxhole shot here. Sweeping his way through that first turn for the 11th time this year. Monster Energy Yamahas. Jeremy Seewer, he turned it into a race win and a Grand Prix victory for the 3rd time here in Sweden. $11 on the board now for Seewer, edging out Jorge Prado, who has on 10. Right, let's go down to the podium, shall we? Round 15 in the books, the MXGP of Sweden here at Uddevalla on the 25th running of this event here in Uddevalla. The Glimmingen Motorstadion here in the southwest of the country. 3rd overall, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, the championship leader, Jorge Prado. A winner in race 1, 6 in race 2. Laengenfelder, Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP, 2nd overall with 2 second-place finishes. But Jeremy Seewer, 3 wins here now in Sweden. Maybe we should call him the Swedish Smurf. But congratulations to Jeremy Seewer and Monster Energy Yamaha, a 3-1 here this weekend. And Louis Vosters, the team captain, team boss, team owner, on the top step once again here. Maxime Renault victorious for him in round 3 in Switzerland. Jeremy Seewer at France, the 3rd Grand Prix win for that team this season. Lars Hornbjörk, the FIMO board member. Of course, that's the Swedish Motorcycle Federation. Jorge Prado, 3rd overall for Red Bull Gas Factory Racing this weekend in Sweden. Great day at the office for the Spaniard. Second overall, Laengenfelder, Kawasaki Racing Team, MXGP. Robert Svensson, the SFIMO president. Thank you to SFIMO and all the board members and all the dignitaries in and around this area in Uddevalla for having us here this weekend. Håkan Lehmann, the FIM board member, congratulates second and third place and hands Jeremy Seewer his winner's trophy here. 3 Grand Prix victory wins now in Sweden. Back-to-back wins for the number 91. And Louis Vosters, another trophy that will take pride of place down there in Breakage in the Netherlands. The 3rd win for the team this season. But the championship leader's red plate, once again delivered by Antonio Elia Portela to Jorge Prado, who continues to lead. Jorge Prado then strengthens his grip on the MXGP Championship, maintains a 98-point advantage with 4 rounds to go. But for Jeremy Seewer, winning here the Swedish Grand Prix, the national anthem of Switzerland. Japan winning team this weekend. Winning manufacturers, national anthem for Japan is next. Your top 3 overall this weekend, the MXGP of Sweden here at Uddevalla, the 25th Grand Prix here on this racetrack. Jeremy Seewer, your overall winner, with a 3rd and a 1st. Laengenfelder, 2 seconds for him. Jorge Prado, the championship leader, with a win and a 6th. We'll talk to the top 3 after these highlights. MXGP race 2 then, under heavy rain to start the day, as Jeremy Seewer swept through the first turn for his 11th Foxhole Shot Award of the season, closely followed by his teammate Maxime Renault and Laengenfelder. Jorge Prado was right there in 4th place, but he lost out pretty quickly as Herlings got around the outside of him. And at the bottom of the next hill, Tim Geiser sized his way into 5th place. Herlings, Geiser continued to battle in that position. And there was no way through, it would appear. But Jeremy Seewer was a man on a mission, chasing down the race win. Laengenfelder realised he wasn't going to get close. Meanwhile, Koldenhoff found his way past Paul Jonas. That put him up into 9th on lap 10. That's where he would finish as well. Panic stations for Herlings on the final lap as he ran wide. Geiser not able to capitalise, nor too Jorge Prado. But Jeremy Seewer crossed the line for his 2nd race win of the season and his 2nd Grand Prix victory of the season as well. Back-to-back wins for the Monster Energy Yamaha man.
Boys, det är därför vi väntar på det. Ja, jag hörde det, men
Jeremy Seewer, second overall of the season, second race win of the season, 11th pole shot of the season. Great job holding that line with February pushing hard behind you. Tell us about that second race.
Yeah, amazing moto. Finally another moto win. You know, I had it in the back. I mean, I felt like I could do that many more rounds before. I had the speed, I had everything, but sometimes you need patience, you know, and it paid off. All those 4th overalls and frustrating days, you know, but super happy to be back on top. And yeah, it shows I have it all and 4 GPs to go, and I'm super strong and feeling good. And this, you know, gives you an extra boost again of motivation. So super happy. Thanks to everybody. And yeah, let's keep going.
Thanks, Jeremy. Second overall today, we have Laengenfelder. Roman, first race, solid, but you made a little frustrating mistake on your part. Solid second race, but I guess you just ran out of time with Seewer.
I got a whole shot the first moto, and then on this track it was impossible to pass, so I was like, yeah, this is my race, and then up I make a mistake and give the place to Jorge and finish second, and second start was the same, good start, but just second, and yeah, I was stuck behind Seewer. Beginning I was faster, I tried to open up some lines, but could not make the pass, and after I almost crashed on the turn and then lost some times, and yeah, that was over. So happy to be on the podium again, 2 times second. Yeah, I try to win next time.
Okay, thank you. Third overall today, we have Jorge Prado. Jorge, 2 different races for you. Winner of that first race. Second race, maybe a little bit more work to do, but I guess you didn't really need to push, although it did look like you started to push towards the end there.
Yeah, I mean, first moto went great. Second moto I had a very bad start, so I almost touched with some riders in the beginning of the race, and then I had Geyser and the guys up front pretty much at the end. Well, all moto, but at the end I had something inside of me still to push, and they were, you know, just all over the place. So I almost touched with him. He cross-jumped a few times when I was by his side. So yeah, it was quite scary a few times. I also got a very big stone on my shoulder, but it was a pity, you know, because I think I was riding very well this weekend, and it was a pity to get, you know, just a third and another overall win. So we will work for it, but hey, the championship is looking good. So thanks everyone.
Thanks, Jorge.